Thank you for clicking on our video. This is Taking on the Thames. We have come down on an absolutely glorious day to an absolutely beautiful spot, and I'm hoping that bringing out on a float with a couple of maggots is going to form into a nice fishing day. Okay, now I'm on already. We're on the float, so we're gonna expect to be getting tiny bleak, but hopefully it's not going to be the story about this all day long. I ain't gonna bother messing about with them too much because they just ain't worth the time and effort. Hopefully that's not all that's down here, because we're in an absolutely glorious spot today. Fishing the maggots on a float, secluded into a little turn off of the river, of the main river. And either way that we go down here, there's a dead end, so no boats are really gonna be bothering us today. And not to mention the fact that further upstream that way, there's a weir. So usually on a real hot day like it is today, wouldn't be great for the fishing, but we're going to be quite close to really oxygenated water, so hopefully, as he says, if we're into another bleak, we're probably going to get plagued by these for a while. Hopefully this is where all the fish are going to be hanging out, because like I said, there's a weir up there. It's a real hot day. Fish don't really like it when it's really hot and humid like it is today. It just saps the oxygen out the water. So when the weather is like it is today, ideally you want to be fishing close to where there's some oxygen going into the water, and a weir like we've got here today is the ideal place. Could have got a lot closer to the weir, but this spot seems real nice. I've got literally the entrance to this corner here flowing in this way, and then the weir's pushing the water out that way, so we're getting kind of like a whirlpool effect, which is going to probably be as close to a lake condition as we're going to get on the River Thames. And of course we haven't just got the float out here today, we've got the big boy rod out on some spicy sausage with ground bait, loaded up with pellets. Another bleak there, these are going to be non-stop. Nice river ground bait. I mean, this area here, it looks about as fishy as a swim could get, especially on the Thames, and especially on one of these wider stretches. Right in front of me there is weed. It's not real dense down there, but there's definitely some strands of streamer weed just coming down, and with all these bleak about, it screams perch down there. So with a bit of luck, if we was going to get a bigger perch, and I've had big perch from this area already, but this just seems like the ideal place to get a nice sized perch. But for now, we're catching perch bait. Another bleak. Oh, away he goes. It's nice to get a bite. It's nice to get a fish, if you can really call them a fish, that is. So I hope that we're going to get something other than bleak all bloody day. We will see. I'm trying my best to avoid them. I'm fishing a double maggot on a size 12, but they're still managing to get it down. That's still a bleak. Or is it? Oh no, it's a tiny chub. Real tiny chub. That's why I don't mess about with these tiny bloody fish. Who knows, if there's tiny chub, there could be big chub. And a big chub would certainly not pass down the chance of a nice bit of pepperoni sausage. If, of course, there's any big ones around here. Chub and bleak so far. Oh, that was looking like it was going to be a better bite, but it actually ends up being sod all. Float fishing has got to be my second favourite method of fishing, second only to fishing for carp off the top. There's just something romantic about watching a float bobbing around in the current. Gets your heart racing a bit whenever it ducks down under the water. Seems a little bit quiet now, so what I might do is just stick a little bit of free maggots out there. And there we go. This is better. Easy now, tiger. Now I would say that that's a hybrid. No red fins on it. It's not deep bodied enough to be a bream, but it is definitely slimy enough to be a bream. So I would say that that is a roach bream hybrid. Which would be cool if it was the size of a bream but still had the fight of a roach. It's definitely got to be a hybrid. My hands now feel disgusting. It certainly smells like a bream and all. Bream have just got that bream stench, haven't they? Keep looking over my shoulder here because I've got a little robin friend waiting for me to throw him some maggots. Positive start. Nice and busy on the float. I wouldn't be surprised though if at some point we get smashed into by a pike bringing these little ones in though. They look just like a little lure. Oh my god, this is the smallest one so far. Look at that, double maggot, size 12. It's not a bleak, it's a chub, so that explains a little bit. That's got to be the smallest chub I think I've ever caught in my entire life. Smaller than the bleaks we just had. I'm back, fella. If you could let the rest of your ancestors know that we're here, that would be spectacular. Go and tell your fat auntie that we're here. Still got bream bogies all over me. Before we started fishing today, I was sitting here for a good half hour, 40 minutes, baiting the area up for the big rod. And I put a little bit of ground bait out around where I'm going to put this float, or where I am putting this float. So bream wouldn't surprise me because it's quite a sweet ground bait. Ugh, bogies all over my hand. And all over my waders. I'll just make sure it don't drift in the tree while I give myself a chance to throw some freebies out there. Little dip there. I'm casting out to try and get it in that middle flow, which throws it out that way, and then rather than have it trickle all the way down there, excuse me, I can just bring it back a little bit and then it will flow back down this way and just nestle itself under this tree that's at the side of me here. Fishing a shirt button style on the float, just to Basic stick float. Yeah, it's sitting quite high up in the water now, the float. I don't want to say too much, but this spot just feels like it's capable of a decent fish, you know. Whether today would be the day or whether later on in the autumn would be more of a successful season, especially for barbel. Another bleak, or it could be a baby chub, I suppose. Oh, and either way he's off, so that one won't count. And he's sitting there dazed like he don't know what's going on. Come here, come here! I think while we've got this out, I'll just chuck another handful out. The maggots look alright, to be fair. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Well, I hope that hybrid isn't going to be the biggest thing we get all day. Come on now. It's getting real close to them snags. Literally going under the tree. Oh, can he see it no more? Let's put some fresh ones on, shall we? Let's brave it and stick 3 on. And ring the dinner bell for them perch. Come on, maggots. Behave yourselves. 3 is a magic number. A little bit quiet again, so chuck a little handful out. Little and often, as they say. Little and often is the key. Oh, missed ya. Got my little robin mate here again. I want to see if I can get him to come onto my hand. Go on, dude. Come on. Look, there's maggots right here for you. Come on. Oh, he's thinking about it. He's right down there now. Then finish that bit off. I'm gonna see if he'll be brave enough to at least come here. Look. Come on, bro. Look. There you go. It fell off. He's right down there. He's just sitting there eating it now. Come on, buddy. Look. Look. You're just going to sit down there and wait for him to fall off, ain't you, you clever little sod? We'll play with that later. Oh. Have a word. Mr. Perch. That was literally just sitting right in front of me. Fuck fish, mate. Nice little green perch. Comes now free with some leaves because he decided to do a jump. Ready, go! That was literally just sitting down there while I was messing about with old robin. I might just plonk that back down there because, like I said, that's where I can see the weed down there. I wonder if you'll be brave enough if we really tempt you. I mean, how heavy's a robin if I leave that there? Go on, dude. Oh, he's thinking about it. Sodge it in. I'm not giving you any more. You had your chance. So, anyway, back to it. I might just a little tickle out there, not far. Little underhander there, little underarm. Fishing right under the rod tip now, which is nice because on the main stretches you just can't do that because it's too shallow. But it is pretty deep, sort of like off the edge of this platform. You've probably only got to go 4 or 5 paces outwards and you'd be up to your armpits in it. Maybe that was a fluke. I'm going to drop it just down here because I can see that the water's carved its way under the bank. Here we go. Another perch. Don't stab me. I'm gonna mess around with this guy too much because he's tiny. Stick him back. So it seems like the perch are hiding in a bit closer. So what I might do in a minute is change the depth of my float because I think I'm overkill there. Oh, that could be something, and it is. Yeah, I'm definitely overkill there. So I am going to need to make some adjustments. Tiny, but still perch. So they must be sitting down there, the perch. But I am definitely going to have to work this out here. He swallowed it that time. Just saw the float just sort of drift off slightly in a unnatural direction. So I think I'm fishing way too deep down there. Let's readjust, shall we? Hopefully that's at a better depth now and I'll be able to read bites a bit better. Might go crazy here and stick 4 maggots on in hope that there's a big perch down there. Might take a little bit more to tempt him out, you know. Stick some free ones out for it. I'm hoping that that's an okay depth there. Feels like a very perchy corner, to be honest with you. A lot of snags, of weed. And of course that bank that's just carved out, but come on now. This is the same bloody one, isn't it? If anything, they're getting smaller. Look at the size of that. That's more like perch bait. We'd be tight and not change the maggots. Stick another little handful out there. It's definitely consistent on the perch though. Perch do go together in shoals, but usually the bigger ones tend to be more solitary. The way the sun's shining now, I can see that there's a big old branch just down there too, so I want to make sure I don't go out too far. Got a little bit quiet, maybe too much commotion. Either that or there's a big boy sitting down there. Are perch carnivorous? Carnivorous? That's not the word, is it? Cannibalistic? Do they eat their own kind? I will bring the bigger rod in a minute and sort out the feed in it. I see a rat sitting down there having a drink, but it actually looks like it was someone's pet rat. It's like brown and white, more like an hamster. One more little drop there. Oh, I shouldn't have, should I? Shouldn't have. Right, that's an omen to not bother. So, sod it. We'll go back out a bit longer to where we was earlier. I mean, it was gonna happen, wasn't it? It was gonna happen. When you're trying to get close to them trees, it's gonna happen at some point. You are going to get stuck. No tackle lost. Jolly good. Get out there, you blighter. What I forgot to do is readjust the float, so I might have to do that on the next cast. Seems to be pretty quiet in both bloody swims now. Sort some of these out there. Go! Bring that back a bit. Oh. Too slow, Joe. I'll stick one more on there, I think. So we can't tempt something a bit bigger. You are the chosen one, Magart. Go do me proud. What I'll do while that's sitting out there is I'll just continue to throw some freebies down in this corner where we was getting the perch. So when I decide to drop it back down in there, they've had a chance to get a few free meals, get some confidence in. Never buy a chair with arms on it. That was a terrible cast. Perfect. Just on the off chance that I do get a better perch, I need to remember that I've got this horrible branch in the water there. I need to steer it away from there as quickly as possible. Nothing. So, let's just drop it down in our perchy spot, followed by another little handful of freebies, which was nowhere near it, throwing left-handed. Got something. There we go. Come on, the perch. It would make both our lives easier if you stopped wiggling around. Definitely on the little perches again. Away you go, sir. But where are them bigger ones? I think that's the only one that lives down there. He literally, I don't know how many maggots he had in his mouth. About 40. Some freebies down there again, so the same thing can happen. We'll keep 2 on the hook, just to cut down on the number of the ones that would be in its mouth when I go to unhook it. Get out the way, tree. I think I might be just a little bit too close there, but again I want to try and avoid that tree branch that's under the water. cleared it. I still think that technically that roach bream hybrid has been the biggest fish we've had so far. Oh my days, this is not, you are not going in the right direction, perch. It's a much better hook point now, right in the top lip. Look at that. What a beast! Get back, my little friend. Let's chuck some maggots down there. Another little pinch. It's down there. And I'll give that spot just another little rest. And we'll flick it out into the other spot. A little bit far. Wheel back. It would be interesting to know what feeder fishing this spot would be like. Could be something we try on another trip down here. Maybe even some lures and some spinners. I imagine that there's pike around here. With what looks like so many decent bait fish. That was an half decent bite and nothing happened. What's going on, bro? Maggots are still good. Sticking it in the perch spot. Let's poke it in down there. Another little trickle of maggots in for good measure. I've got my buddy the robin back. Let's see if he falls for this old trick. There you go, bro, look. Oh, nearly, dude. Nearly. Don't worry, I'm not going to do nothing. I know. Don't moan, man. I mean, I don't have to be giving you any of the maggots, do I? All we've got to do is sit there. Maybe the rod's a little bit too in his face. It'd be cool if he come and just landed on it. Dude, there's no point complaining. You have some maggots here, look. Got a nice little dining table for you. Oh, I've dropped one down there, he's gonna see that. There he goes. Perch spot is dead. And died. Let me check those. They're good. They're really good. Go out there. Oh yeah. I think I've pissed off old Rodney. Rodney the Robin. Oh, is it? No, nothing. There was. I was too busy looking above because there's a kestrel flying about. I'm getting wildlife overload. I think we'll refresh this bigger rod. So we're going to readjust this bigger rod. We're using an open-ended cage feeder, and we're just going to stuff this up with river ground bait that's got pellets in it. We're using a real long hook link with some pepperoni sausage on it. You know, I want to try and give us the best chance of getting something half decent, rather than putting all my eggs in one basket to get something real decent, you know. I'm not convinced that there's going to be any barbel coming out of here anytime soon. I think the best chance of that is going to be in the autumn, but I'm sure we're good. Well, I'm not sure, but I would imagine that there's some decent chub out there. That's probably our best bet of getting something half decent, is an half decent chub, apart from, of course, an half decent perch when we get the maggot rod back out there on the float. so tightly packed. If you was fishing a lake, you wouldn't really want this as tightly packed as this. My buddy's coming down to say hello again. Because ideally in a lake you want it to dissolve fairly quick, whereas in a river you want it to dissolve a lot slower, so the tide can just slowly push the bait away. Hence as well why I've got a longer hook link than what I would usually use on a lake, because obviously we've got flow pushing the bait down, and eventually the bait's going to get pushed down to the hook bait anyway. So I'm going to have to readjust myself to cast this out, because I've got a big old tree right above me and I don't really want to be getting snagged up in that now, do I? Yoink! I'm not hammering this out, I'm just going probably just to the end of where the branch off of this fallen tree is. So with the big boy rod reset as it beeps away, settling down in the current, and the float, depending on where I'm fishing, is probably, I'd say, 3 foot, 3.5 foot. The bulk of the shot are down here now, because obviously I've got the choice of swims whether I'm fishing a bit further out or not. If I'm fishing further out, it goes up there, and then that gives you a bit more of a shirt button style, but the bulk of shot are down there, and then we've got one sort of midway, and then we've got another slightly smaller one just down by about 6 inches from the hook, which just helps to try and get them maggots to fall down slowly. You don't want them going down right now, but to be honest with you, the idea of doing that is to try and get it away from them smaller bleak, but obviously it's not working. What are you doing there, buddy? You coming over? There's still loads of maggots in there. Help yourself, they're yours. There you go. I think that guy's going to follow me home. Question now is, I think what I'll do is I'll start off long, back out to where we had that hybrid. This ground bait is also the same ground bait that I've thrown a couple of balls of that out, just roughly where the float's going. You coming up, bro? You can get scared when I strike into this 44-pound perch in a minute. A little bit slow again on the float. Wasp in my face. Could be because the sun's starting to swing round, and although I'm in shade, the actual water itself was in shade when we first got here, but is now fully exposed to the sun. There's a wee something there. Oh, he let go of it. Fighting the life out of me, buddy. There's only another bleak anyway. Maggots on there are fine. I'll give that another whip out there. Might just chuck out a couple of freebies. Just make sure my mate can see I'm putting some in there for him. And then just before I drag it back into the perch spot, another little handful of freebies out there, give them time to sink. And we'll delicately place that down there. Well, where's everybody gone then? God dang. I think I'm still just maybe slightly overshot the depth for this close in on the bank. God dang it. We've got one maggot down. It's an absolutely scorching hot day today. Glad I'm in the shade. Get off! Right, it's been way too long now since we've had a fish. Could be getting towards that time where it's all just a bit too hot and stuffy for everybody. There we go. Skim it, skim it across the top just in time for it to come off. That looked like it could have been a roach. Certainly lost a fair few today. These barbless hooks. Yards! Oh, that's right in the tree. And that's right over there and everywhere else. That's how the pros do it. Still got all my maggots on. Had literally just a bit of gust of wind, just perfectly timed to blow me into the tree. It was definitely not my own fault. With that slight breeze, it's just pushing the float into the tree a little bit quicker than it was before. I think phantom fish, mate. Phantom. A little handful in my perch spot. A bit of freshen on there. Just a tiny little drop down there. River Thames still being a struggle on hooking something of a decent-ish size. Had plenty of bites today on the float, but another typical case of nothing to write home about. Now the sun's moved around a bit, I can physically see my maggots just sitting there on the bottom. We are definitely overshooting that. So I think what I'll do is, rather than continue fishing that spot, I'm going to go out a little bit further where it's a bit deeper and where I can see the weed. I want this big boy rod to go tearing off. Nice 6-pound chub on there or something. Not even being greedy, you know. I'm not asking for a 46-pound carp. Am I, little dude? There's still maggots in there. In there, look. bounced out. He's go straight down there to that one. Nothing, nada, zero zip. Whip it out there then. And we'll give that a little helping hand. And before we bring it back, now we can bring it back. Nothing. And just that little strike alone is probably going to be enough to not be in the spot where I'm getting any bites. Oh, I tell a lie, a little twitch there. And another one. It's a better bite. It's not a very better fish though. Look at it. Another chub. Tiny chub. £8 please. That is actually becoming a joke. That would produce a nice old perch. A little chub like that on the end of your hook. I haven't got any trebles on me today. I think I've caught the same fish again. Look at it. What on earth is going on? That's what, the third chub like that I've had now. Easy, easy tiger, easy. And you will live to fight another day. Yeah, another little handful out there. These are definitely the smallest chub I've had so far. On the main stretch, they're like 3 times bigger than that. I think basically what's happening now is we're getting in that time where fish just don't want to bite. So we'll give it a couple more chucks. And then next time, because this swim just looks perfect, come down here again and then probably go on a feeder, try and get out there a bit further. I can see where the main flow is. I might try and get in there, probably use the same tactics on the big rod for that. Just makes sense that this area would be where the fish are, you know. It's just finding the right methods and the right key. Nothing again. I really waited that time as well. Come here. I think it's all just too small. I think the stuff out there is just too small to deal with the beastly maggots. If I was match fishing and every fish counted, I would be very tempted right now to put a size 20 on, a single pinky, and just smash them out. But I know what that would end up being. That would just be bleak after bleak after bleak. And I like using the size 12s because it just gives you that chance of being able to bring in a decent perch if you manage to hook into one. But on the other hand, if the stuff out there is too small, like it seems to be, they struggle to get the hook in their mouth. Here we go. He's going to get it in, that is the question. Yes he is. Little bar silver. Looks to me like another chub maybe? Oh, what you doing, bro? No. It could be a dace actually. I think it is. No, it's a bleak. Another tiny bleak. We're ending on what we started on. Yet another bleak. Perch bait. Whatever you want to call it. It's not been the worst day's fishing? No. Has it been the best day's fishing? No. Has it been a typical day's fishing on the Thames? Yeah, kind of. But I like this spot. It's nice and quiet. No boats going past, nothing like that. And plenty of features as well. And of course we've got the weir that's right down the other end here. So I'm pretty sure that if you carry on and get persistent with this swim, that you would eventually get into something big. So I'm definitely going to try it again next time. I think probably on a feeder. Stick to the tactics that I'm on with this bigger rod, with the cage feeder and the sausage. If that all fails, then it's going to be live dead bait, maybe some spinners and lures, and see if there's any pike knocking about around here, because it just looks perfect to get a decent bite. So till then, I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. I've been Mark Payne, this be Taking on the Thames, and I will see you later. Bye bye.